The Emissary Prologue. The temple is empty on this dark and tranquil night. A light breeze rustles through the emerald leaves of the old and twisting oaks. Their branches and roots climb up the steep incline of the hill, providing natural occurring steps with which to reach the temple's entrance. He looks to these trees and listens to their voices as the pleasant breeze continues to drift over them. They are the silent murmurs of one in a deep sleep. Glancing down the many steps of the oak's roots, he can see the sprawling land that he calls home, or had once called home. The sky twinkles with so many stars, appearing as though someone had emptied the diamond mines into the expanse above them. He would never see this world again. His presence has gone entirely undetected. He did not expect it to be so easy to enter the temple's classroom, especially on the night of the coronation. Fowless gazes about himself. The long and grand corridor stretches across a great expanse below. No one was really quite sure how far down the pit went. Some surmised that it was the entrance to hell, an inky blackness that swallows all light and sound. Only Oyander knows for certain where it leads to. The halls are silent tonight, as is he. Fowless looks to the immense carving on the wall. A creature with 4 arms and hands extended with open palms. In each hand sits a symbol representing the 4 elements of the known universe: water, fire, earth, and air. The creature wears fine ornate robes and sits with its legs crossed. Upon its neck sprout 3 heads. One large headdress sits upon all 3, decorated to match the robes in colors of red and gold. Despite there being 3 heads, it has only 1 eye that encompasses each face. Oyander's great eye is closed to Fowless's entrance, a clear acceptance of his presence on this night. How strange, he thinks to himself. He crosses the threshold to the glass room and closes the door behind himself. The mirrored walls reflect his own ghastly form back to him. Fowless looks a mere shadow, an absence of light with 2 glowing yellow eyes. He scowls. His eyes exude his own disgust for himself. Pitiful creature, he mutters. You will have your chance. His reflection begins to dissolve as he approaches the glass. The image of the room around him is replaced by that of another world. Gradually, like a fog lifting out of the air, Fowless can now see a gathering of people on a beach. He places his hands on the window to the outside world, peering through at the human creatures before him. Behind them stand immense stone pillars with blazing fire bowls. Each pillar has the symbol of a Hyas carved into the stone, a tree for Laurel, a lightning bolt for Tyra, the moon for Ezekiel, an open palm for Micah, and the sword for Corin. Fowless and his younger sister have no such altars built in their honor. The Hyas of death and chaos, and his sister, the Hyas of mischief and foresight. Shalea had informed him of the coronation that was to occur tonight. The click of the door opening startles him from his thoughts, and he turns to see the tall and pale woman. Others had informed him of her beauty, though to him she was just as she had always been. Just in time, she whispers her delighted exclamation. Long platinum hair spills in waves over her bare shoulders and down her back. Her violet gown rustles with each movement as the door closes behind her. Golden eyes sparkle with excitement as she gazes between her brother and the crowd gathered on the beach. The core is being presented to their heirs, she indicates with a nod of her small pointed chin. The firelight casts pleasant shadows about her. He smiles back. The image in the mirrors seems to shift as though moving with the fluidity of another independent being, one that is being jostled in their seat. Fowless looks to the glass room's ceiling to see the partially veiled face of one of the Corps' guardians. White formal garments trimmed with gold in the same fashion as the image of Oyonder in the great hall adorns these holy guardians. Together the highest siblings gaze through the faceted eyes of the Corps, surveying their line of prospects. "What about him?" Shelia suggests, a large and broad-shouldered young man, more fit to be a member of the guard than be the emissary. He shakes his head. The boy's head remains bowed but attentive, listening for their voice. "Him?" She points out another. "He certainly looks more studious than the others." Again her brother shakes his head. This boy remains with his head bowed also. Of their heirs lined up before them, one seems to stand out to Fowless, his head bowed in reverence, but his eyes wide and alert. He is listening, and he is hearing. A mop of messy dark hair in need of a bath and a shave. Dirt is embedded into his nails and skin. His clothing is old, fraying, and filthy, but he appears healthy. His skin is covered in old scars, wounds, he can tell, received from hard work, possibly work on a farm, or from carpentry. He is used to being ignored, but now he knows that someone can see him, and it scares him. "I see you," Fowless whispers. "Yes," Shelia purrs. "He is perfect." "What is your name?" the Death Highest asks. "Cain Fisher," the young man replies. His peers look at him, first in confusion, and then with astounding. They can understand that he is hearing their gods, the highest, but they cannot understand. Why him? Why the gardener? Why the farmer? Why him? "Will you accept my power as your own?" Fowless says, in a voice like smoke. "Yes, my lord," Cain responds. Fowless places his shadowed hands upon the mirror again and closes his eyes. Darkness encompasses the room like water spilling forth from a fountain, clinging to the air like a fog. Shelia gasps and moves to escape her brother's darkness as it soaks into her clothing and clings to her form, consuming her. Cracks begin to spiderweb through the glass room, and the shadows spill through them into the other world. Shelia can see the boy named Cain as his eyes darken with tendrils of her brother's shadows, like blood under water seeping into his vision. He smiles. Fowless blinks new eyes and peers around himself. The guardian places a leather band about his neck with a large black diamond as its pendant, a comfortable weight at his chest. "Why did it turn black?" one concerned voice asks. He does not get to see the owner of the voice as they are quickly hushed for their irreverent behavior. For the first time in many eons, Fowless stands amongst many bowed heads as their ruler. He takes a deep breath, savoring the air, the sense of fear and uncertainty changing its flavor. "Brother?" A familiar voice quavers behind him. He recognizes this fear. "Brother, what have you done?"